Mm, 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 mm.
All right, this is the Coach Rush Propst Show. Coach, first of all, congratulations on getting that first region victory. It's hard to win football games.
It is. It is. One of the, especially how it's laid out. The last 3 weeks for us has been awfully tough. Trip down to Pierce was a monster of a game and physical, and then getting back in at 5 or 6 in the morning and losing a day of sleep, and losing a day of preparation for the next week. Then the Pell City debacle, was, I went back and thought about that since we talked last week.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever lost a game like that. I mean, I've lost games, but I've never lost a game that I felt like we dominated the ball game in a lot of aspects, and then we had catastrophic mistakes in key times, especially in the fourth quarter. There were 11 things I think I said last week that got us beat from the 1 minute mark of the third left, late in the third and the fourth. There were 11. If we just win one of the 11, we win the game by 2 scores. Not one score, 2 scores. So it was very disappointing in that loss. But then again, the emotional side of it and the physical side of it, we got a bunch of people banged up too because we're playing with 13. They're playing with 30 kids. They're 6A and by numbers, we're 1A by numbers. We play in 2A because of competitive balance. And we really should have won the game. If we played it 10 times, we'd win it 9. Uh, probably 19 out of 20, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But and then we had to turn around a short work. You know, you're beat up, you're tired, you're emotionally drained. You got kids that are hobbling and didn't get to practice that week. We go to Southeastern on a Thursday night, especially again the day before, which healing. You don't get the full week of healing. You get a day shorter,
Right.
and we go over and we basically don't play very well the first half. But you got to give Southeastern a little bit of credit too. Um, they came out ready to play. We didn't, and they kept it close for a half. And then the second half, we in coaching we call it peeling the paint off the wall in the dressing room at halftime. And and it was a small place too, so the paint didn't have no chance. But I think we got the point across. Kids came out second half and played much better, and we ended up extending the lead and winning pretty convincingly. So I was happy with the outcome at the end.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about just some of the kids in that game. I thought that the one thing that really had to happen, as I thought Georgie needed a bounce back game for his confidence. He's a much better kicker than he showed early on in the season,
Yeah,
and wow, did he get back on track?
he did. He missed a big kick at Pierce, missed an extra point and a kick that would have won the game for us at Pell City if he hits these 1 and 2. Especially the field goal. I mean, there's no excuse for missing that field goal. And then obviously they did get back on track, and in every aspect he did. We squibbed the ball like we should have in the Pell City game. We squibbed it, and because we had young guys that are trying to rest some of our older guys, which we should have never done in the Pell City game. That was a mistake on the coach's staff. And then and then he punted the ball really well. And so he did everything really very well in the Southeastern game. And I think yesterday in practice he had pretty good practice. So hopefully today he can continue on with that and be ready to go Friday night again.
And we're still banged up.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how you get over that.
Well, this football team is not last year's football team where
Right.
they had about 18, 19, 20 kids. This is a whole different ball game. So, we can't practice with physicality during the week, because we get somebody hurt, and we did yesterday a little bit. which is unfortunate. So, but we went in a physical drill where he got hurt. He just fell down on the ground and bruised his shoulder, but he'll be okay. Um, but yeah, we got the Pierce kid still hobbling. Kylan's still hobbling. These are people that are going to Matthew Mills, our rehab partner. So it's Kylan, Pierce, Joseph, Tremont is out.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, he has a groin injury, hip flexor type deal. He don't need to play this week. He's not practiced at all for 2 days. Uh, Chase, uh, that's really it. And then LJ sort of got a bruised shoulder that we'll send to rehab today, but I think he'll be good to go. The ones that I think Joseph and Colin will be ready to go Friday night. Pierce, they won't be 100, but they'll be 90,
Yeah.
85 to 90. Chase is still only about 60%. It's probably not good for him to play this week, so we'll have him dressed in an emergency role. Um, just. But the key to us too, Jerry, is we had about 8 or 9 kids that were not playing all the time that need to play more.
Yeah.
So we need to just sort of figure out how this rotation is going to go and get them playing time regardless of the score, you know, and quit worrying about the 49-6. The defense won't shutouts and the offense won't score in the 40s or 50s. We need to quit worrying about stats and worrying about getting our depth ready and getting kids ready for down the road. So that's sort of what we're targeting on going forward is trying to get some more kids playing time to where we get into the late in the season in the playoffs. These kids can really help us, and that will give us. I think we had 10 on the board, 9 or 10 on the board. Some are already playing,
Yeah.
but like Cooper, he's already playing a little bit, needs to play more.
Yeah.
Pierce is playing a bunch. I wouldn't count him. Probably needs to play a little more on offense to give it spell us a little bit. But then there's other kids out there that even some of them are seventh graders and
Big
ninth
kids.
graders. Yeah,
Yeah.
big kids. We got to get them in the game, and hopefully, that they become a big plus for us down the road. And like you said, come November, you got more depth by then.
Absolutely. And the one kid I think I'm more surprised with, or not surprised, but just didn't realize he could help us like he did was Trayvon.
Mhm.
I think he's had a great season at this
Yes,
point.
yeah, I'm very pleased with Trayvon. I didn't count him as being a starter,
Yeah.
but when Jay Allen was ruled ineligible, which was a huge loss for our football team, uh, you don't lose a Division I athlete, and it doesn't affect your program. But we did lose it, and Draymond has stepped in and played admirably. I mean, he made one mistake, Pell City, where he thought he had a blitz call and he didn't, and they threw a touchdown pass. That's how they scored their first pass. So we gave him a score on that. It was early in the game, but still it hurts just as much. But overall, I would say Trayvon has played really well. Pierce has played well in the back half. I think he's gotten better. Again, Rex Dodd has got to continue to come on. Uh, I think that Cooper has got to play more. The Keener boy has got to get eligible where he can play, and and then other kids like Nick Nunn,
Yes.
Jaquan Allen,
Yes.
those two. Carson Reed will be eligible by the time we play one. Uh, Julius Stevens needs to get some reps. So I'm just thinking off my head right now, but and I may be leaving one out or whatever, but those kids have got to play more and more. We can have some depth down the road. Because if Jaquan and Rex can give us depth up front with Cade Mickler, that would give us 8 linemen. And Chase has got to get well.
Right.
With Chase being well, them 3 playing, that gives you 8. You got 2 tight ends. Oh, Byram, the Byram kid. He's another one that needs to play. So we get him, that can give us 3 tight ends. That can give us 2 X's, 2 Z's, 2 H's, 2 F's. Jack England's another one. Jack England's another kid that needs to be playing. And I mean, he's getting better every week. He's young, but I think he's shown me a lot in the last two weeks. So he's another one. Got to get him in the game some too. So I think I've called it all out.
I like the rep. I was a little surprised. Lucas Crane ran the ball hard. It was good to see him out there for sure.
Lucas Crane's another one. He's been hurt
Yeah.
the whole summer with his back, stress fracture in his back. And I think Butch let him go, so he can give us some depth down the road too. We need people like him because when you get into, hopefully you get into mop up duty. I don't know that you will, but if you do, you need to be able to play some guys, and he would be another one that would play.
I want to talk about good teammates, right? You have to be a good teammate, but sometimes when the unselfish players, like just look at the path of Cade Mickler, offensive line 1 week, running back, tight end, whatever it takes. Special kind of kid. I was really happy to see what he did.
Caden's a great kid. And he's a really good football player. I hope he gets a chance to play somewhere. He's
Yeah.
probably an NAIA Division II guy, but again, I played Division II. It's not, and my brother played Division II, so nothing wrong with that. My son signed at West Georgia. At the time he signed, they were Division II. Then he went to Division One. Thomas did. So I think there's a place for him out there somewhere. He just got to continue to play on his level, and good things can happen.
For sure.
But he is a team player, a great leader, and wants to do the right things all the time.
And lastly, for this looking this past Southeastern game for me, I was looking over the stats, and the stats that Radley Mays was able to come up with from the nose tackle position was like, wow,
Yeah,
impressive.
very impressive. Radley's a good football player. He plays offensive tackle, does his job there. He's a great communicator up front, along with the rest of some of our other offensive linemen. I think DL has done really well. I think DL had one of the best practices on Monday that he's had all fall, and he's playing good.
Mm-hmm.
So those Rad and DL next to each other, and then the Gaines kid, it's got to continue to get better at center.
Sophomore, yeah.
And then our right guard, Chase, has got to get well. If not, it'd be Rex Dodd or Cade Mickler. But this week it'd be Rex. And then obviously everybody knows about Zayden. I mean, he's a great football player. He's a Division One offensive lineman, probably a center. He's not a major Division One, but he is a lower level Division One prospect.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how he was going to play emotionally with the loss of his grandmother last week, and I was very proud of him.
I think kids nowadays, what I've seen over the last 15, 20 years, kids would rather play. And I think their grandparents and their parents would. I mean, I know if I passed, I'd want my sons to play or my grandson to play or grandkids to play. I don't want them to sit out on my behalf at all. My dad died on a Wednesday. We buried him on Friday at 11. He sent the funeral at 11 o'clock where I could get back and coach the game that night back in 1994. So, that's just, there's really not anything else you can do. And I think by honoring your grandparents or your parents when something like that happens, I think playing a football game honors them.
Sure.
And I think that's a better way to grieve than sitting in the house in your room, just letting thoughts go through your head. So I think letting kids be kids and keep getting them back in the routine is the best way. And I'm proud of him for what he did and what he stands for. He's a great kid and a great player.
Absolutely. And we're going to move on from the Southeastern game. Again, you got the first region victory, which is always important. Now we get to come back home, friendly confines, Philip Edmonds Stadium. You got a team coming in who this Coosa team is ready to play. They're absolutely ready to play football.
Yeah, and they got a player that left here. They came in, was going to be the quarterback, and then moved out. Sometimes I don't want to hear when he moved out, but early summer. But I try not to get into those kinds of things. I try to worry more about us and how we're performing and what we're doing, and not worry too much about Faulkville. We obviously we got to know what they're doing on defense and offense, and we do. But it's about how we play and how we approach the game, and a chance to go 2-0 in the region. So I think it's important for us to understand that, and uh, as a team, as a staff, and as a fan base. It's not about Faulkville and who's playing over there and who's not. And we shouldn't get no more for them than we do any other region opponent. It's just the next one in line.
And they're 2-0.
And they're 2-0. I mean, at the end of the day, they're 2-0. So we have to play well and take them very serious, which I don't ever take anybody lightly, no matter who it is. And I don't care what you did last year. We're not last year's team.
Right.
So we're this year's team. And so we have to take it and make sure we handle our business and let's see what happens.
Well, they were, in a battle themselves. So they got a big victory against West End last week, 16-13.
Hmm.
Good defensive struggle. So that takes some wherewithal to win a game like that. So
Yeah,
they'll be coming ready to play for sure.
I think they should be. They should be. And so, and I think they all play quarterbacks. They
Hmm.
play the kid that moved from here some, they play another kid some. So we got to be ready for both.
Now let's dive right into that a little bit more about us. You love coaching quarterbacks, right? You've always loved it,
Hmm.
even though you started as a defense coordinator. People jump on and make sure we all know that. Yes,
Mm.
Rush was coach defense back in the day.
16 years.
Talk to me about the progression from Mac Long from week one at Pierce County to where he is now.
A lot better. He got game experience under his belt, but he's still lacking in read progression. He's got to continue to understand what read progression means. There is a first read, a second read, a third read, a fourth read, and a fifth read. Now let's make that a little bit more clear. More times than none, you don't get your fourth and fifth read. It's
Right.
either read one, read two, read three, check down, or read one, read two, check down. So you have to build your offense uh, where there's a check down system. And I think when I got here, I didn't see a lot of check down system in our offense. And that's the sort of things that have changed a little bit in our offense. We are still running our base offense that they've run here for years because
Right.
it's too late to change terminology. So we are doing it, but we're mixing in things and we're schematically realigning our offense to where in a drop back pass situation, 3-step drop, or even a quick game, we're giving him a chance to get out of a bad play. Because when you don't do that, then the quarterback don't have anywhere to go with the football. He has to run. I don't like that all the time.
Yeah.
We got to give him check down situations, and that's so we're adding those things to the offense. Where if this is not open, check it down to your back or to your tight end or whatever, and you got a way to get out of it. The other thing I'm not real fond of is mirroring a side. If you're going to run fade out one side, we don't need to run fade out to the other side. Because usually if it's covered on one side, it'll be covered on the other side. So again, without a check down situation right there, the quarterback has nowhere to go with the football. So we're trying to, we ain't got it all fixed. It'll take some time. We ain't got it all fixed, but as we go forward, we will change some of that as we go to give our quarterback a chance to hit his check down. And here's the thing: when you throw Mike Hogan, who
Yeah,
you know who Mike
I
Hogan
do.
is,
Sure.
he's the one that developed Brett Favre. He also developed Seattle Seahawks quarterback Matt Hasselbeck.
Mhm.
The ownership was going to cut him, and Hogan said, "Let me have him 1 year." Well, he told me I met with him 8.5, nearly 9 hours. Me and him sat down and talked, and he taught me about what I'm talking about is check down. That if you have a 50% to 55% passer in percentage, if you just hit check downs, it will go to nearly 70%.
Wow.
Here's the other thing, another huge stat that I learned a long time ago. Any throw over 10 yards. Some people go 15, some people go 12, some people go 10. Somewhere in that 10 to 15 range, anything that goes beyond that 10, 12-yard range is normally less than 50-50. You're not going to be 50-50 most times. You're going to be about 42. If you hit 42 to 45%, that's a good night.
Okay.
So you have to make your play designs be shorter than that to get your percentage up, number one, and yards after catch. We have two elite athletes in LJ and Grayson and even Palmer and Kylan when he's not in the backfield. The problem with Kylan is he can't play in the backfield every snap and run 26 times like he did against Pell City.
Right.
We see what we got with that, an injury. So he's not capable of doing that as a 10th grader. He needs to run it 10 times, 12 times,
Mhm.
but then the rest of his touches need to come on the perimeter in the throw game. We got to get the ball to LJ. We got to get the ball to Grayson. We got to get the ball to Palmer. And then we can't run Mac a lot either.
Yeah.
We ran him too much in the Pell City game. We need to run him when it means the most. But we got to stay out of. I don't know if you know this or not, but in last week's game, there was a play on the goal line that Mac ran.
Yes.
Go back and look at it. It's one of the worst I've ever seen of a non-injury that should have been a catastrophic injury. His leg came out from under him. 99% of the time, that's a torn ACL. 99. I've seen it too many times in my career.
Yeah.
When I saw the play, I thought he's done. He pops up. I watched him for a couple of steps, make sure he didn't fall over, because I've seen kids bump up from ACLs before.
Sure.
He gets up and goes up, plays another play, and I said, well, thank God. The good Lord was looking after us.
Yeah.
But that particular run told me. So when he got sidelined, I told him, I said, do not do that again. If you're going to run the football, don't. And if you do, either get out of bounds, or if nothing else, don't make a late cut. Just try to run over the guy behind your shoulder pads and headgear, but don't make a late cut like that, because you're going to lose your ACL and you're going to miss the rest of this year, and you're going to be hobbled going into next year. So we talked about it. He understands what he's got to do. And those are the things we have to do with him and Kylan, and understanding our offensive philosophy going forward. And it also gives us a better chance to win. What happens tonight that it's raining cats and dogs in November? Well, you better be able to run the football. There's no question. But then if not, you may come up against a team that, like, we couldn't run the ball from the 7 minute mark or 9 minute mark of the fourth quarter against Pell City. We were so tired, we could not run the football anymore. We were gassed, and they were loading the box. If I had it over again, I would have opened it back up and would have thrown the football more in that ball game. That's on me, and in our staff not understanding that. So, you know, you got to be balanced offensively. You just do to be a champion,
Yeah.
and I just don't want to go back into another game like that to where we're one-sided. Okay, so and we're not.
I did love the play where Mac scored down the sideline. Very well designed play. He read it very well. Good blocking. Joseph made a good block on that particular.
Yeah.
And I think he showed people he's faster.
He's got fast. He's speed.
Faster than you think he is. Way faster than that.
He can run now.
Let's talk about how can we make fun, Coach. How can we make fun of Eric Albright? I know it's very easy to do, but we'll do the next show. Never mind. We'll do it next show.
I understand. I can say it, but I can't say it on air.
That's most of his friends. Exactly what they're saying right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gracious! Hey, let's talk about how important this home field advantage is. When you got it, we need to take advantage of it. And our crowd does a good job. They're tailgating now. They're fixing cheesesteak sandwiches and those horns and bells and whatnot. It is truly a home field advantage.
Well, I was very pleased with Southeastern. Our crowd that went to Southeastern, they were loud and boisterous. The band did a wonderful job. I told our band director, she's done remarkable. I said, I hope we do as good a job of football team as she's done with the band, because it was outstanding. She needs to be applauded. I promise you that. Cheerleaders, they do a great job. No question of that. They do a great job. Very appreciative of those girls too, and our fans. But we're growing, and
our booster club,
and Holly and her husband and the people that run our booster club are great people, and obviously we're still got our Texathon going now. So what we're going to try to do is take that on out a few weeks, so people get paid in late September, first couple of days of October. We'll end it on October 2nd or 3rd, because we got to get to the $15,000 mark. We're at 12,000 right now, 12 something. We need to get it to that $15,000 mark or better, to where we keep 85% of that. So, and Jason Nash, who runs it, he used to coach for me. He's doing it for us, and he understands. So you parents out there, or people that want to donate, we've got our Texathon still going, and our goal is for us to keep 15,000. So add 15% to that, and that's where we got to get to keep 15.
It's so funny, Russ. I didn't know anything about it. Then all of a sudden, I keep getting these text messages.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't realize all the players had my cell phone number, but I was getting inundated, which is great. And we put it through on our social media platform as well, and we're going to push to hit that number. Hey, let's talk a little bit about this. How's the wife?
Oh, she's doing great. She was sick before she gave it to me. So She was sick on over the weekend. She did not get off the couch on Saturday. She was really sick. Sunday she felt a little bit better. We didn't come in Sunday, and because I felt like we needed to give our kids 3 days off. They were just
Yeah.
beat down and tired mentally and physically. And I usually do that in every team I've had, especially after the first two ball games where it's just rough. Um, but she got better uh, Monday at night. I felt like she started getting back to her old self, and then here I wake up yesterday sick. So, and whether I got COVID, I don't know what I got, but I don't. I've already taken 2 shots, and and this that and the other. But I've lost my voice, and but you just got to push on, and I've never missed practice for being sick, and I'm gonna start now. So,
Yeah.
but I'll get away from the kids. I don't get around the kids or anything like that. I know how to do. I'm smarter than that. But when you're invested as much as I get invested with things, you can't miss practice for no reason. And so I'll be there. She's doing well. Like I said,
Good.
she's better. And and if I have to get her another shot later in the week, we will. But I'm taking my 2 shots. I think she's taking one. She may have to take another one just to completely knock it out.
And something else that we thought was cool is at practice, hanging on the bench, talking to Coach Crane and Wes Long was there, and seeing your son coach. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. The kid knows the game of football,
Oh, he
and he
does.
and he relates to this age group very very well.
He
So
does.
it was very cool watching him coach.
Yeah, he's just helping out a little bit.
Yeah,
He just sort of giving me some information and stuff like that. And as far as him day in, day out coaching, he's not.
yeah,
But he is very valuable of information because he's been with me all his life. So he's watched me coach and call when he grew up being a ball boy. And then he played for me at Valdosta and Pale City. And the only time he didn't play for me was he went to Piedmont. He played for Steve, which he learned a lot under Steve Smith.
sure.
And then, of course, last year he played at Pell City, I helped over there last year. Uh, so anyway, he's been around. He knows football inside and out, and his older brother Thomas does too, and so does Jacob, and so does Brian. But Jacob played his whole career for me. Thomas played through his 10th grade year for me, and then I took him to Steve when things went south about Austin. But they're kids that have grown up being a coach's son. So they know everything. They hear all the kitchen talk. They hear all the complaints and all the why did we do this? Why didn't we do this stuff? And of course I get an education every Saturday from Thomas. Dad, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this?
Yeah,
And John David not as bad, but it's like Thomas. It's like he's been in practice every day and he hadn't. So
that's fun.
yeah, does he know the game? Absolutely knows the game. I mean, he learned a lot playing college football too. So
Sure.
um, they're, they're very smart kids. They are.
No doubt, but it's just a blessing. Like Wes and myself was watching, it was good to see for sure. Seeing him engage, and the kids really took to it.
When he tells you something, he's telling you for a reason.
Yeah,
He's not just saying it. He's saying it. He knows. He's seen it. He knows from a receiver play what we shouldn't be doing a lot of times. And that's a valuable help for me at times on the sideline. Just being close to the coaching box.
well, Coach, anything before we get you out of here? Get you an extra 30 minutes of rest. And
No, I'm good. I'm good. I got to go run the weight room and at 1:55, so I got to go. And then we got film and right to practice. We got a church function tonight at I think we're at the Highlands tonight. I think Mr. Franklin and Nathan's dad.
Mhm.
I think we're going over and eating supper with them.
Ain't nothing better than a potluck, Coach.
Ain't no doubt.
For sure. Jeff sends his apologies. He's actually traveling today out with his wife. Coming back from she had a work trip down in Montgomery, so he was trying to get back in time, but
Tell him I'm not going to forget.
yeah, he's watching right now. 'Cause those people who are
No.
just he's got to be controlling everything.
Yeah.
I'm touching the button, Jeff. You can't do nothing about it. You can't do nothing about it. Hey, Coach, thank you so much, and thank you for all the sponsors that are on the screen right there. So, do me a favor, come out to this game, get loud, spend money in the concession stand, and cheer on this Concord team to victory. Coach.